Spike Lee's *Da 5 Bloods*, the upcoming Netflix war movie, debuted its official trailer today. I'm Joe Reno. This is Real Talk. Well, hello. Thank you so much for tuning into this Spike Lee war film trailer reaction. Still feels just a bit odd to be saying that, and you're going to find out why in just a bit. So, without further ado, Spike Lee's Vietnam War film, *Da 5 Bloods*, follows 4 African-American Vietnam War vets as they journey back to Vietnam to recover what's left of their late comrade, as well as a treasure they all left hidden in the battleground. The film is, of course, directed by Spike Lee, and the cast includes the likes of Chadwick Boseman, Paul Walter Hauser, Delroy Lindo, Reno, and Isiah Whitlock Jr. So what you just heard from the central concept of this film is a war movie mixed with a treasure hunt. So of course, on the surface, this looks fucking awesome. But let's dig just a bit deeper than that. When I hear the name Spike Lee, war movie is never the first thing that comes to mind. Spike Lee, of course, is a filmmaker known for making a lot of movies about race, particularly the treatment of African Americans. But considering the fact that this is a film about the Vietnam War and how there's always been so much talk about African American treatment during this particular war, it'll be interesting to see Spike Lee take his experience with making movies about race and applying it in a new and interesting direction in the form of the Vietnam War. Based on what we're allowed to see in the trailer alone, I see a lot of potential for some great conflict in this film. There's the internal conflict that these men carry with them when it comes to revisiting Vietnam and recollecting all of the memories and trauma that come with serving in the war. There's the external threats that they face in their way for them to find their gold that they left behind with their fallen friend. And even then, there's a line that their fallen friend, played by Chadwick Boseman, says when they first bury the gold. And that line goes something along the lines of, "We've been dying for this country since the get. We give this gold to our people," which I'm assuming can only mean African Americans. But based on the way that the trailer seems to be cut, it looks like there are a few white people going with them on this journey to find this gold. And again, that's just the impression that I got. I could be totally wrong. But if I'm right, and they end up finding the gold with the help of the white people that seem to be with them on this journey, are they going to share this gold with these white people that helped them find it? And I think that's going to be a very interesting debate for this film to have. And if this film does go in that direction with this story, and they don't have this debate by the end of this film, I'm going to feel kind of cold after watching the end of it. Springboarding off of Chadwick Boseman, my gut is telling me that he's going to give the standout performance in this film. And the reason I say that is because in the clips that we see of him in this trailer, there seems to be a very intense look in his eyes. And that level of intensity, at least to me, spells more meat attached to the particular character. And of course, the meatier the role, the greater potential that an actor or actress has to give a truly memorable performance. So because of all of that, I think that Chadwick Boseman is going to steal the show, at least in terms of acting. I love the blend of history and modern day. You see the aesthetic difference between the present day footage of these men going back to Vietnam as opposed to how the film looks when the men are actually fighting in the Vietnam War. And there also looks like there's a lot of actual archival footage from historic events thrown in there, at least in the trailer. I'm curious as to why it's all put in there. It kind of gives the overall story of the film a very sprawling and epic feeling, especially considering the fact that it already docks in at 2 hours and 34 minutes. Again, not a problem to me at all. I love longer movies. When I found out about the runtime, I was excited even more. I think it's going to have like this more epic feeling to it all, considering the runtime, considering how many moving parts there are to the story. At least how many moving parts to the story there seem to be advertised in the trailer alone. So all in all, I'm really excited for this movie. It goes on Netflix on June 12th, and I cannot wait to review it here on Real Talk. And I'd like to thank you all for sticking around to the end of this Netflix war movie trailer reaction. And if you haven't gotten a chance to yet, don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe, and hit the bell to get all notifications, as well as to follow all the social media pages that are outlined for the show in the description below. And until next time, I'm Joe Reno. This has been Real Talk.